Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners, and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free. So first of all, I apologise that I am in my pyjamas. However, I am filming this quite late on Sunday the 17th of November. I have had quite a weekend of it, and it is absolutely freezing. So I needed my thick, comfy, padded, fleecy snugs. And because it's Max's gut choice, and I might be sat here for a while chatting with you, I thought I may as well be comfy. So I apologise for my slobby appearance. But it's a Sunday. It's all right. I'm amongst friends, and hopefully you don't mind. Anyway, like I said, you are here for Max's Gut Choice. I can't quite remember what episode we're on, so give me a memento and I will look for you on my phone. Let's have a little look-see. This is episode 17. So I'm filming episode 17 on the 17th of November. Freaky. Okay, so if you haven't been here, if you haven't seen these videos, a brief explanation. I did have a 2-year-long segment here on a Thursday called Tile of the Week Thursday. That ended back in July, and I realised that I needed to find something to fill that Thursday with. So I racked my brains, and this is the result. So Mike gifted me this little bag here off of my Amazon wish list. And inside of this bag, there are lots of these little bonbons of yarn. These are from Mira Handicrafts. There we go. They are 100% acrylic. They are a DK or lightweight 3. They are 10 grams. They are roughly 22 yards or 20 meters. They are made in China. And then you can wash up to 30 degrees. Do not tumble, do not iron, do not bleach. Dry clean using P. Recommends a 3.75 millimeter to a 4.5 millimeter needles and a 4.5 to a 5.5 millimeter hook. Now, this is not the best quality of yarn, guys. It feels a little bit cheap, a little bit rough, just not the nicest, and that's okay. But I didn't want to do anything like a wearable or a blanket or anything like that. So back when I was deciding what to do for this segment, I pulled one of these bonbons out, started playing around making a square, decided on a square design. I use US terminology, even though I'm from the UK. And I did 4 rounds of the traditional granny square, which is double crochet clusters. The way I do it is I do not chain between the clusters, but in the corners I do cluster, chain 2, cluster. And I also turn after every row. So yeah, 4 rounds of the traditional double crochet granny square clusters. Then I did a 5th round of half double crochet clusters. And then finally I decided to go around one more time doing a single crochet row. And again, stitch, chain 2, stitch in the corners. However, I was playing yarn chicken quite a bit with these because even though they say they are 22 yards or 20 meters, it varied massively. And after a few episodes, I was getting a little bit frustrated playing yarn chicken on video for you to see. So I decided after a while to not do the single crochet round on the end. In that one, I decided, what have I done with it? Oh, it's right in front of me. My goodness. I decided to pull a different yarn from my stash. This beauty, in fact, which came out of its label. And guys, I've still got this, just this tiny smidgy bit from my original skein. This is, I love this yarn print from Hobby Lobby. I was gifted 2 originally in Happy Mail. Then the wonderful Karen gifted me another 2. And then the wonderful Donna gifted me another 4, I believe. So I have got plenty of this beauty here. I'll show you that end. This is the colorway Candy Stick Stash. It is Ecotex standard approved. Recommends 5mm needles or a 5.5mm hook. It is 5 ounces or 142 grams, 252 yards or 230 meters. It is 100% acrylic. It is a medium 4 weight or an Aran here in the UK. You can wash this one up to 40 degrees Celsius. You can tumble. Do not iron, do not bleach, dry clean using A. And like I said, I now have lots of this gorgeousness in my stash. So whatever I don't use for this, I will be able to use in something else. And I'm super excited about that. So yes, I do my 4 rounds of double crochet clusters, my final round of half double crochet clusters. I then, off camera, I fasten off, weave in the ends, put on this on the border, and then I come back next week and show you that I did in fact do that. Now, I am going to pause because it's been a couple of weeks since I showed you that I have actually been doing something with these squares, so just bear with me one moment. Okay, so one of my other lovely YouTube friends here on the YouTube streets was using the squares that she made to cover some canvas bags. Now, her canvas bags are a lot smaller than mine. Mine are actually quite large. And what I did is I took a selection of the squares that I had made. I joined them together using more of the Candy Stick Stash. I hot glued them in one piece over the top of the canvas bag, and then I made these little flowers out of the Candy Stick Stash just to break it up a little bit. Now it is a little bit squished because of where I was storing it, but I thought that that would make a cute little gift for somebody. And I am still toying with the ideas of putting maybe sparkly gems or buttons in the middle of those flowers. So eventually all of these squares will be turned into these bags. It's the only bag I've done so far. Anyway, all of that to say, I need to show you that I did in fact do last week's squares. Now, if you remember, when I came on camera last week, I realised that I hadn't bordered the previous week's squares, so I actually had to play catch up. I did do the orange and the turquoise from the previous week, and I have done the pink from last week. They are all ends woven in, all bordered, all completed. So I did catch up, guys. We are ready to rock and roll. And then, where is it? I am using my 5.5mm dots hook to do this project with. Now, again, all of that to say, well, how is it called Max's Gut Choice? Well, a lot of my podcaster friends here on YouTube try and incorporate their family into some of their makes. And I decided to ask Max to get involved with this one. So what happens is every time I need to film one of these episodes, Max, without me seeing when I'm not in the room and I have no idea he's done it, he picks some of the bonbons out of this bag. So that's where Max's choice comes in. And then Gutt comes in because he puts his choices into Gutt. Now, Gutt is my gorgeous black metal bin here. The brief story of this bin is when I was a child, we had a silver metal bin that used to hold all of our winter hats, gloves and scarves. And we used to say, "Mum, where's my hat?" She'd say, "Go check Gutt." And the reason why the bin was called Gutt is because he was absolutely stuffed full, like when you go out for a meal. So we stuffed Gutt. So Max puts his choice into Gutt, Max's Gut Choice. My mum gifted me this one Christmas recently, and I knew I had to incorporate him into the channel. So I have my very own Gutt, and it brings back wonderful memories of my childhood. So yes, Max can pick either 1, 2, or 3, and colours are completely his choice as well. So I never know how many or what colours we're going to do. Several of my lovely friends here on YouTube are joining in. Some of them are matching the colours that Max picks. Some of them are doing their own colours. But they just thought it was fun to sit and make squares with me, because once I have revealed what is in Gutt, because I never know, he does it without me seeing, and he never tells me how many or what colours. It is a surprise for me just as much as it is for you. We see it at exactly the same time. Once I reveal what is in here, I then sit and make the squares while chatting with you. So let's get on with it, shall we? So here he is. 3, 2, 1. What has Max done? Oh, we've got a 2-weeker. And quite Christmassy, I might say. So let's put the lid back on Gutt. Let's get Gutt out of the way. And again, I've put my hook away without thinking, because I actually need it, don't I, guys? What a silly sausage. So, got my hook. And this week, Max has picked a deep burgundy style red, or a deep cherry red. It's not bright, it's crimson. Crimson red. And he has picked a creamy colour. So that does cranberry, maybe. Just reminds me of Christmas time, and Christmas is fast approaching. So now that I have revealed what we are going to be doing, you are free to pause, grab your project, grab a drink or a snack, make yourself cozy just like me, and let's go ahead and get these squares made for this week. So, how are you guys? I hope you are doing really, really well. I know that you are seeing this a few days after filming. For you guys, the weekend that I'm currently in is long gone, but I hope you had a good one. I hope it was everything you wanted it to be. I had a very eventful one, actually. And if you don't mind, I'll sit and chat with you about it. Now, some of you may know some of the story, because I did a very spontaneous off the cuff live on Saturday. I'll just start from the beginning. So Saturday, Mike took Max to his football or soccer match for you guys in the US. Max did very well. His team won 6-1, and Max did get a goal as well, so he was really happy about that. And then Mike dropped Max to a local skate park so that he could practice his tricks on his scooter. He's getting really good on his scooter. And Max was going to be at the skate park until I was finished doing what I was doing. Mike then went on to do the grocery shop. He came home, put the grocery shop away. He then gave the house a complete blitz from top to bottom, and he got dinner prepared. So Mike had an incredibly busy Saturday as well. Now, my Saturday, I said goodbye to Max and Mike, and I had a lovely hour or two crocheting in bed on Saturday morning, which was lovely. I love when I can do that. A little bit of me time, a little bit of relaxation after a week at work. Enjoyed my Saturday morning, lazy Saturday morning crocheting in bed. Then I got up and I filmed a couple of this week's videos. And then I left the house at about 1 p.m. because I had to take Connor, my eldest boy. My middle boy doesn't play football. He's not into football. I had to take my eldest boy, Connor, to his football soccer match. He had to be there for 1:30, so we left at about 1. We got there in plenty of time. He had to have an hour of warm-up, which meant that his match didn't actually start until 2:30. And I explained to Connor that I didn't want to be stood out in the freezing cold if he didn't mind. I've only just started my job, been there a couple of weeks, and I didn't want to get a cold and let them down this soon into starting. Plus, I'm not really a soccer mum, guys. I have no interest. I don't really understand the game. I'm just going to pull the camera down so you can see that I am actually crocheting. And he said, no, mum, that's fine. You stay in the car, stay warm, catch up on some of your crochet. So I was like, excellent. That's a brilliant idea. So I took my fairy dust blanket with me and thought I would be able to get, some good time to work on it. And while I was sat in the car park, I thought, well, I'm going to be here quite a while. He's got an hour's warm up. Match kicks off at 2:30. Then it's 45 minutes for the first half. Then they have a quick half time to grab a drink, take a breath, have, 5-10 minute rest. Then they've got a second half of 45 minutes. And then there might be extra time due to injuries or needing to do penalties or, those sorts of things. So potentially I could have been sat there until 4:30, 5 p.m. So yes, I left my house at 1 and Connor wasn't going to be done until at least 4:30. That's an awful lot of time sitting in the car. When I first arrived, in true Manfa fashion, I really needed the loo. Thankfully, somebody local, because it's a village that I didn't even know was there, wasn't familiar with it in any way at all. The pub was shut. There didn't seem to be a public loo as we drove through the village to find the football pitch. But luckily, a lady in the village was going into the village hall, and I kind of blagged her kindness and asked if I could use the facilities before she locked up. And she said, yes, of course, no worries. She did say, I think there's a portaloo up on the football pitch, but she wasn't 100% sure. But I thanked her profusely for being so kind, taking pity on me and allowing me to use the facilities. I then got back in the car and I thought, you know what, I really could do with some company while I'm sat here crocheting. So I decided to do a spontaneous live to kill some of the time and to actually spend some time with some of you guys. I had quite a bit of troll activity to begin with, but thankfully they soon got bored and moved on. But then, sure enough, Manfa needed the loo again. So in the middle of my live, everyone that was in chat said, it's fine, you go find a loo. We'll talk amongst ourselves until you get back. And I thought, well, okay, fine. I really do need to go. Honestly, guys, I was fit to burst. There was no way that I could sit there for another 2 hours waiting for Connor to finish without going. So I left my live running while I went to the loo. I left everybody sat in my car. I rushed up to the football pitch where Connor was playing, asked a couple of children there if there was a toilet, and they said, no, sorry, there isn't. So I'm like, oh, no. So there was nothing else for it, guys. I thought I'm going to have to go and have a wild wee. So I came down from the football pitch, heading back to the car, and I saw a little pathway that had really high hedges on either side. It was pretty quiet, so I thought, perfect. I could nip in there, do what I need to do. It's not ideal, but when you need to, you need to, okay? Please don't judge me. And just as I was heading into that lane, a family came down the lane walking their dog. So I thought, nope, can't do that. So came out of the lane, again, headed back to my car. And I thought, what on earth am I going to do? So I went onto the main road, walked down the main road for about half a mile. On that half a mile walk, it was kind of a, fast walk / jog because I had left everyone on my live. Thought maybe there would be a farmer's gate, farmer's field that I could hop over, do what I need to do and hurry back. Went into the first farmer's field that I came across, and again there was another family walking their dog, and I thought, yeah, no, this isn't going to happen. So I came out of there, went down the road a little bit further. There was literally nowhere else that I could have gone, and at this point I was on the verge of having an accident, so I thought there's nothing else for it. I tried to get as far into the hedge as I could on the main road, did what I needed to do. Thankfully no cars or people walked past, but unfortunately while I was mid-wee, I experienced a feeling that you don't normally feel, and unfortunately I had stung my bottom on stinging nettles. Not comfortable, not pleasant, but there was nothing I could do about it. Then went hurrying back to my car because everyone was waiting for me, and I had been gone for about 15 minutes because I watched my live back. But everyone who stayed in the live were absolutely fine about it. They were really good about it. But I was very uncomfortable because my bottom was burning a little bit. And then I realised that I had very little battery left on my phone. I think I chatted for another 10-20 minutes. And then I had to shut the live down because my phone battery was going to die. And I don't have a charger in my car. That is on my list of things to get. Anyway, other than that really ridiculous situation, I had an enjoyable couple of hours on my live with the lovely folks that came in. I don't get to do lives very often anymore. I miss them, and it was just quite enjoyable, apart from the troll and the wild wee that went wrong. I shut off my live. I then had to sit there until 4:30 until Connor was done. Connor came back to the car. He got in. We drove half an hour to the town where Max was. We popped into the supermarket so that Connor could get something to eat and drink because I then needed to take him to work. After we had got Connor something to eat and drink and I had been to the loo again, we picked Max up and we started heading towards the place where Connor works. We had only been in the car 5 minutes, guys, and out of nowhere. Oh, Connor won his soccer match, by the way. He won 2-0. He didn't score, but he did win. So that was both my boys that had winning matches, which was excellent. Anyway, we had only been in the car 10 minutes heading to Connor's workplace, and a deer just ran out of the field and smacked into my car, and I was driving about 60 miles an hour. Now, I did swerve. Thankfully, there was no vehicles on the other side of the road, and it didn't feel like the deer hit me very hard, but it was a shock. It completely bamboozled me. I screamed. It was awful, and then I felt so sick and so bad that I had hit an animal. Now, it wasn't my fault because it ran at me. There was no way. Oh, I lost my arm. There was no way that I could have predicted that would happen. And it was quite a young deer. I would say that it was an adolescent. And both Connor and Max insisted that we turn around, go back and check that it wasn't lying injured in the road. So I turn around, we go back, we can't see anything in the road. So turned around again to go back in the direction we were originally going. Now, hopefully that means that the deer wasn't that badly hurt, that he was able to just carry on running to wherever he was going, and that he is absolutely fine. Obviously, I have no way of knowing that, but it makes it a bit easier on me to hope that that is the case. But my heart was racing. I was feeling physically sick. I was like shaking. It scared me. But I think because I swerved, the deer only like struck a glancing blow. And later that night, I did check for damage, and thankfully there wasn't any damage to the car. So we were all okay. The car was okay. And hopefully the deal was okay. But my gosh, what a Saturday, guys. It was just crazy. So then I managed to get Connor to work. Max and I managed to get home okay. We didn't get in until about 6:15, and I had left home at 1 p.m. It was a long Saturday. I was still very uncomfortable with my bottom. I was shaken up by the whole deer thing. It was just such a crazy, chaotic Saturday. It just wowzers. Okay, so that's the cream one done. Yay! I will fasten off and put on the candy stick stash off camera. So on to the cranberry or crimson red. So yeah, that was a bit of a Saturday. And then we had a busy Sunday today, actually. I had another hour's crochet in bed this morning. Remember, guys, I'm filming on Sunday, but you're not seeing this till Thursday. So I had another lush hour crocheting in bed, and then I had, shower and hair wash. Then I had to blow dry my hair. And by the time I had done all of that, it was time to go round my mum and dad's for a Sunday roast, because every other weekend we go round my mum and dad's because my brother's there with his two sons, my two nephews. It's the only chance we get to see them, so we do take full advantage, and it's always lovely being cooked a roast. So we love those Sundays. So we popped round. Connor, my eldest, has been working Sundays ever since he got the job. But now that Connor's a lot busier in his working life, he now only works at the pub on Saturday nights, because on top of that, he does 2 days at college now, and then 3 days out working with a builder on an apprenticeship. So 2 days at college, 3 days at his apprenticeship. It was getting too much also doing 3 nights, well, 2 nights and a day at the pub on the weekends. So he has dropped the Sunday, and his boss has tried not to put him on Fridays to try and reduce it a bit for him, because he is absolutely exhausted. I am so proud of him and his work ethic, and the effort that he is putting in, the graft that he does to earn his own wage. He is absolutely amazing, and like I said, I'm so super proud of him. So anyway, he hasn't been able to go to my mum and dad's for a roast for several weeks now. And I kind of told a little white lie to my mum, but it was a good white lie, and you'll understand why in a second. She asked me if Connor was going to be there today, and I said, no, sorry, mum, he now has to work. So she was like, oh, okay, well, I'll still plate him up a dinner and he can have it when he gets home. Well, anyway, we all arrive as normal, but Connor was a little bit sneaky, and he stayed outside and hid and stayed out there for about 5 minutes, giving us time to say our hellos and, what you do when you go round someone's house. And then he just casually walks into my mum and dad's house, just like he does. And my mum was so over the moon to see him. It absolutely made her day. She has really been missing him. It is Connor's birthday at the end of this month. So we did originally plan to celebrate his birthday today with them. And I think she was a little bit disappointed that that wasn't going to happen, because I had fibbed and said he was going to be at work. So then when he did appear and he surprised her, she was absolutely over the moon. It made her day. We were able to celebrate his birthday as planned, and we were just all together. Apart from my brother had to go to the emergency dentist and have a tooth removed, and my dad went with him. So my dad and my brother were missing, but my nephews were there. Connor was there. It was lovely. It really was. Always love being at my parents'. Love spending quality time with my family, and especially my nephews that I only get to see every other week. It was just lush. But it's very busy. We got there just after midday, and I didn't get home till gone 6 p.m. again. So my weekend has gone by in a flash, and I don't really feel like I've had a weekend in the sense of relaxation, recharging, or getting anything done at home, because I was out and about for most of Saturday, and we were out at my parents' for all of today. So I haven't really felt like I've had a weekend. It's just gone in the blink of an eye, and now I'm preparing for another full week at work. So, but then that happens sometimes, and there could be worse things to moan about, should we say. So, yeah, it's been busy, it's been nice, but it does mean that quite a few things have had to be put on the back burner, and I'm going to have to play ridiculous catch up next weekend, or the weekend that is soon coming for you guys watching on Thursday. So yes, Manfa is a little bit exhausted from her weekend. It's been crazy. But there you go. It is what it is, and like I said, it could have been a lot worse. So I hope your guys' weekend went a little bit better than mine. And like I said, it's probably a distant memory for most of you now because you're seeing this on Thursday. But I just thought I would fill you in on the craziness that is my life sometimes, because you wouldn't believe it otherwise, but it's true. All of it is true. Every single word of it is just so silly. But there we go. So by the time you're watching this, I will be nearly finishing my 3rd full week at my new job. So I'll let you know that at this point when I'm filming on Sunday, I've completed 2 weeks. It's going well. I'm still finding my feet. I'm still learning the ropes. I'm still waiting for some training and some access to a couple of things. So I'm not fully doing my complete role at the moment. But I'm sure we will get there. There was a funny moment last week where one of the students came running into me, telling me that the chickens had managed to get out of the paddock and they were going up the path which joins onto the staff car park, and he was really concerned that if the chickens got out, they may get run over. So I finished doing what I was doing, and then myself and him had to shoo the chickens back into the paddock. Now, I am not keen on chickens. I am quite frightened of chickens. But I was in the front, showing the chickens the way, clapping my hands and making noise, trying to get them to follow me. And then he was behind the chickens, clapping his hands, trying to get the chickens to follow me. So I felt a bit like the Pied Piper of chickens last week. It was quite funny. I'm soon coming to realise that every day at my new job is never going to be the same, to expect the unexpected. It is not the average job. It is totally unique, totally different from anything that I have ever done before. But I'm just going to try and take it in my stride and just roll with it, because I just never know from one minute to the next what's going to happen. It is quite intense. It is quite surprising a lot of the time. But again, I got some positive feedback from colleagues saying that one child in particular who really struggles to make connections with adults, especially adults who are unfamiliar. In fact, it was the same boy that told me about the chickens. We have managed to make more of a connection than he has managed to make with anybody else. And he's been going there since September. And, you know, my colleague, his teacher, was absolutely astounded and so surprised and so happy that he has managed to connect with me, that I do have, you know, a good relationship with him, that I am, you know, making progress with him, not in his teaching, because I'm not a teacher, but just in his social interactions, some of his behaviors. you know, building up trust with him and a friendship with him. And by doing that, we hope in the near future that we are going to be able to help him in other areas of what he needs from life and what he needs from school. And that colleague wanted it to be made known to management and the rest of the staff, how brilliant he thinks I am with him, how valuable I am, that he's glad I've joined the team, and that he is super thankful that I am helping him so much with that child in particular. For me, I'm just do what I do. I don't even know that I do anything different or special or anything in particular. I just think this lad has taken a liking, has decided that I can be trusted and that I am a safe person, and he is happy to interact and have that relationship with me. And I feel really privileged and honoured that I've managed to be that person for him, because it's really, really important. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, really important for a child, especially with some of the diagnoses and extra needs that he's got. It's a massive, massive thing. And I just feel so honoured that he has allowed me to be a part of his journey, be a part of his story, and hopefully we can continue to work well together, and I can help him settle in a bit more, get comfortable more, and hopefully in the classroom a bit more, doing some of his schoolwork and just progressing in leaps and bounds. So there's a little touching, heartwarming story for you all. And yeah, it means a lot that my colleagues and my management are seeing some of the qualities that I apparently am bringing. They're seeing me as a positive asset to the team, and they are celebrating me in that way. It means the absolute world, because I'm not doing it for credit, I'm not doing it for glory, I'm not doing it for any personal gain. I am just being me, and if being me means that I can help somebody, then I am more than happy to carry on with that. And yeah, it's an amazing feeling. Amazing feeling. To the point where I could actually get teary. So let's change the subject. I'm nearly finished on this square anyway. So as usual, guys, tell me down in the comments, what have you been working on while I've been rambling and waffling on about crazy times? I really would like to know what you guys are up to. You know I am nosy. Let me know if you have any plans for this weekend ahead. My plans at the moment, again, bearing in mind that I'm still on last weekend while I'm filming, I really do want to try and get a good chunk of my Christmas shopping done. I really would love a bit more crochet time if I can. We'll see. We'll see how the weekend ahead rolls. Can't be as crazy as this weekend, right? It just can't be. But I always appreciate you guys sitting here with me, listening to me and my craziness. But yeah, things are okay. Things are pretty good. So I am liking that. So yes, so yeah, even though we celebrated Connor's birthday already, it's not until the end of the month. Not the end. I'm not giving you the exact date, but it is towards the end of the month. So we will obviously celebrate on the day, and it's not the day yet. So there we go. Right, that is the crimson/cranberry square done as well. Oh, and I've dropped my tail. There it is. So as always, I will fasten off and put the border on to this square when I get off camera, as well as this square. That's 2 squares done together again, guys. How amazing. In fact, this red reminds me of Gryffindor red. So if you are a Harry Potter fan, you will know exactly what red that is. Anyway, I have kept you for 40 minutes again, but thankfully Max only chose 2 this time. So the bin is empty. Gutt is empty. I'm going to have to get Max to fill Gutt up again, ready for the next episode. Anything else that I need to tell you? Oh, one last little bit of business before we go. I have to do my monthly pattern giveaway. I should have done it in yesterday's video and I completely forgot. So if you have made it to the end, thank you so much. You are an absolute rock star. I really do appreciate it. In fact, what day are you seeing this on? You are seeing this on the 21st. Better just double check my planner that I'm not talking absolute nonsense. No, I do need to do the pattern giveaway. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning a pattern or patterns from Ravelry, you need to have a Ravelry account because that is how I'm going to gift it to you. And it can be no more than 10 Great British pounds. So you will need to do the conversion in your currency to see how much that gives you. You can have one or several as long as it doesn't go above 10 Great British pounds. And for you to be in with a chance of winning that pattern, you need to put the keyword soccer in this one. We talked a lot about soccer today. So yeah, put the keyword soccer if you want to win a pattern, and then I will come back next week and I will draw the winner for that. This is not sponsored or affiliated by anybody. This will be coming out of my own pocket. Please be over 18 to enter, even though it's an electronic prize. YouTube is not sponsored or affiliated in any way. In fact, they don't know I'm even doing this. And obviously all the normal giveaway rules and terms and conditions apply. So yeah, put the keyword soccer. I'll put you on a list as always. As your comment comes in, I will number them and then I will ask the person that lives in my phone to pick the winner. So good luck, guys. Put in the keyword and you will be added in for a chance of winning a pattern. And maybe there's a pattern that you've been eyeing up for quite a while, but you can't justify spending the money on it. So be in with a chance of spending my money instead. How about that? Right, I really am going to go now, guys. I hope the weekend coming up for you is absolutely fantastic. I hope you've had a brilliant week. Thank you once again for keeping me company. And until next time, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye, guys. Love you loads.